My breakdown of the images in this video will be done in two phases. First, phase number 1, which will be a more surface level breakdown of the more visible deceptions that are contained within the images of this video. And then phase number 2, which will be the adept breakdown, which in Freemasonry means I will be exposing the deeper Masonic secret knowledge that is contained within the images in this video. So, let's begin with phase number 1. Scene number 1. As the video opens, we see a young man with several tattoos on his arm. His head and his face are covered, only exposing his eyes. His appearance fits the description of an individual that our society would classify as a rebel. Furthermore, he is wearing all black attire and raising a torch with his right hand. Now remember, the right hand in Freemasonry is symbolic of fidelity, faithfulness, and it is also the hand that is used to take the oath. Black is symbolic of rejection of the light, or in other words, rejection of God's law. Black is also symbolic of darkness. In Freemasonry, one of their sayings are, "From darkness is light." Therefore, the black attire which this young man is wearing, it's actually a bold subliminal message, which is, humanity should rebel against God's light. In other words, rebel against God's law, because it is out of the darkness that we get light. Now, who do you think will get this light from? Well, according to the symbology that this young man, his very self represents, by holding a torch up in his right hand, we will get this light from the light bearer. And if you remember, in Hebrew, light bearer is the meaning of the name Lucifer. This scene sets the tone for the whole video. The singular theme of rebelling against God's authority and accepting Lucifer as your leader, pledging to be faithful to his cause. Remember, he's holding the torch in his right hand, and the right hand is a symbol of faithfulness. This is the foundational principle that is all throughout this whole deceptive charade. Scene number 2. In the back, we see a young man with a skull-face bandana covering his mouth, and two torches crossed, forming an X. This scene has significant symbolism. First, let's deal with the letter X. The letter X originates from the word chi, which originates from the word ki, which means life force or energy flow. Chi or X is all about spirit. X is also used to abbreviate for the name Christ, like in Xmas. X in the occult also holds the numerical value of 666. And according to Revelation chapter 13 and verse 8, 666 is the number of the beast, which is the Antichrist power. Therefore, when we put all of these symbolic meanings of the letter X together, we get the spirit of the Antichrist. Furthermore, remember, I pointed out earlier that on his face is a skull bandana. So what we get is a skull and crossbones. This once again carries important symbolism. The skull and bones are used by Freemasons during their initiation service into the 3rd degree, the degree at which a Freemason receives the title of Master Mason, and the degree which this album, The Blueprint 3, is a marker of representing that Jay-Z has obtained to being a Master Mason. This is a very important point to note. To see the fact that a symbol that is used during initiation is being used in Jay-Z's video, Run This Town, is very important to note. And I'm going to explain to you why. A man by the name of Benjamin Creme, a major leader in the New Age movement, one who is considered to be the John the Baptist of Lord Maitreya, which is the title of the New Age Christ, he said in the year 1980, through the Masonic tradition and certain esoteric groups will come the process of initiation. In this coming age, millions of people will take the first and second initiation through these transformed and purified institutions. In Freemasonry is embedded the core of the secret heart of the occult mysteries, wrapped in number, metaphor, and symbol. When these are purified, these will be seen to be a true occult heritage. Through the order of Masonry, the initiatory path will be trodden and initiation will be taken. You may not realize it yet, but Benjamin Creme said more than a mouthful. He said that when the metaphors and symbols in Masonry were transformed and purified, the result would be that millions of people in our generation would take the first and second initiation, thereby becoming followers of the occult. The question is, how do they propose to transform and purify their metaphors, symbols, and numbers that have occult meaning connected to them? This is a very important question to ask. It's very important information to know, because it is when they can do this, it is when they can purify these metaphors, these symbols, and these numbers, that millions of us will become followers of the occult. So once again, the question is, how do Freemasons and Illuminists, Luciferians, New Agers, how do they transform and purify the metaphors and symbols of the occult? Well, according to their very own information sources, the way that they purify and transform the occult symbols, metaphors, and numbers is by externalizing them. The word externalize means, number one, to express a thought or feeling in words or actions. Number two, to represent something abstract or intangible as material, to embody, to attribute emotions to external circumstances, to direct to others as costs or benefits. Number three, embodying in an outward form. So, to summarize what externalization is, it is to express an abstract thought or feeling in words, actions, or in some type of material object, some type of material thing that will allow others to clearly understand those abstract thoughts or feelings that you could not otherwise make them comprehend because they were very hard to be understood. And while this is done, the individual or group that is expressing these otherwise hard to understand thoughts and feelings through words, actions, and material objects that make it simple to understand these abstract thoughts and feelings, they must as well present to you the cost or benefit of accepting the abstract thought or feeling that they are making simple to you by using words, actions, and material things that you are not only familiar with, but commonly they are also appealing to you. And finally, expressing these hard to be understood thoughts and feelings through familiar words and actions and material things that you can not only easily understand, but usually are appealing to you, the person or group that is doing the externalization must leave you attributing these new emotions that you are feeling to external circumstances. Ladies and gentlemen, you may not realize it yet, but the Freemasons and the New Age Illuminist Luciferians have already successfully completed this task.